Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Momentum Mondays. My name is Lynette Rogers, and I'm officially kicking off the call. I would like to introduce to you a phenomenal woman, someone who is known as a professional career coach, a role model, a mentor, a leader, national speaker, VP of Human Resources in Corporate America, and many others. But she says that her most important titles are wife and mom. She has helped me and hundreds of women across the country become better and stronger. She is the host and the visionary of this call. Good morning, Miss Jill Green. Are you out there?
Good morning, Lynette, and thank you so much for opening up our call this morning. And, folks, I want to say good morning, and good morning. Welcome to Momentum Mondays. I am Jill Green, the host of the call that's designed to wake you up, shake you up, and take you up to new levels of your life, your career, your business, and your dreams. So who is this Momentum Monday broadcast for? Folks, it's for everybody. If you're a domestic engineer, a 9-to-5er, a career professional, an entrepreneur, a traditional business owner, if you're in direct sales, in transition, in between blessings, this call is just for you. Now, I'd like to introduce to you a few of my co-hosts that join me every single Monday morning to make sure your Mondays are never the same. And first up, we have Miss Michelle Washington. She's the founder of Michelle Marie Fashion Agency, visionary of Women of More campaign, all the way from Newark, Delaware. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Jill. I'm so excited to be on this call this morning. Woo!
And we also have on the line Miss Anita Washington. She's the founder of Fort Wayne Girls Rock and Girls Rock Youth Summer Camp. She's all the way from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Please say good morning to Miss Anita Washington. Good morning.
Good morning, Jill. Let's be purpose and people that rock. Good morning.
Good morning. And, folks, you've already heard her amazing voice this morning, Miss Lynette Rogers. She's the owner of Virtually Yours, founder of Saving Our Youth, author of #1 best-selling book, Mission Unstoppable, that she penned with the amazing Les Brown and Dr. George Fraser. Good morning, Lynette.
Good morning, Jill Green, and to all the Momentum Monday movers and shakers.
And, folks, I just want you to know we're here every single Monday morning to make sure that your Mondays will never be the same. If you're on Facebook or in a position to do this, I want you to request to become a part of our Momentum Monday Discussion Group Facebook page and go ahead and ask to join now. And in the group, I want you to post #I'm on the call. #I'm on the call. And this is where you can interact with us and our amazing guests this morning. Now, folks, we have been in the midst of an amazing series called Power of Habit. And we've had so many amazing guests on the line. I'm so excited about our special guest this morning. We have the Honorable Judge Shawndya Simpson, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. She is currently a Supreme Court Justice sitting judge right now. Now, I'm going to tell you her bio. I mean, we don't have enough time to cover all her accolades, but I will tell you that she successfully has convicted over 90% of the defendants in her cases. She grew up in Brooklyn, New York, where she grew up in the projects. She has appeared on numerous television shows, Court TV, Power of Attorney, Geraldo. I mean, the list goes on and on. She's been with some amazing people like Gloria Allred, Christopher Darden, Marsha Clark. I mean, you know, Honorable Judge Shawndya Simpson is an amazing, powerful leader also in her community. So there's so many more amazing things I can say, but I'm going to say good morning, Shawndya. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Blessings to you all. Blessings to you all.
I am so honored that you would join us this morning for our amazing series on Power Habits. Actually, we're winding the series now. We've been on this series now, Judge Shawndya, for 6 weeks. And, you know, I got a chance to meet you, I guess it's now been a couple months ago at Martha's Vineyard, and I fell in love with your humility. I fell in love with your disposition and how you handle people, and I knew that I wanted you to be a guest on the call so that I could share you with the rest of our listeners who are calling in from all across the country. So talk to me a little bit about your journey, but then talk to me about key habits that you believe help you achieve success in your life.
Okay, well, as you mentioned, I grew up in Brooklyn. I grew up in a housing project. Actually, I went to a college at the University of Pittsburgh on a track scholarship, and I told everyone I thought I wanted to be a sports commentator, but when I realized I wasn't going to the Olympics, I decided to go to law school. And so I ended up doing legal commentating, and it's been a blessing. I was a prosecutor for years. I've been on the bench now for 13 years. And, again, my most important job in title is that being the mother of 4 children, ranging from 20 to 8 years old. So I've been blessed in all aspects of my life. And
that is beautiful.
Yes, yes. And as far as, do you want me to get into the habits now, or just tell a little bit more about myself?
Well, I think that's great. I love
Okay.
to hear about you, and I love the fact that you said you're a mom with 4 kids, because a lot of times when we see people, that are highly successful, I think we forget that there's a balance that they have to strike in life. Like when you and I talked this morning, you were getting the kids ready for picture day, and I kind of chuckled. I'm like, she's doing exactly what I'm doing right now. So yes. So talk a little bit about some habits. Take us there.
I think daily I deal with things spiritually, mentally, and physically. My spiritual upliftments are, of course, I read the daily word every day. I read like Joel Osteen's daily devotion. I am a psalm reader in the Bible. Psalm 121, 23, 91. My grandmothers were both prayer warriors, so I take that with me. One's not here, and one's 99, but that's what they always taught me, to be spiritual and faithful. Also, I read this passage. Well, actually, it's not a passage. It's a prayer. It's called the Golden Key, and I don't know if many of you have heard of it. It's from Emmett Fox, and basically what the Golden Key is all about, it's harmony. It's the key to harmony and happiness. And I think like every day we deal with some challenges, but when you Golden Key it, meaning rather than focus on what's not good, focus on God. Say your favorite prayer. Say something that makes you happy to get that negativity out of your mind, because sometimes that negativity takes the power from within you, and that's what we don't want. So you want to focus on the good and not the bad. And sometimes it's difficult and sometimes it's challenging, but when you Golden Key that negative, I'm telling you, it slips out your mind and put that positive in. And, even if it say, God be with me, I'm a child of God. God, I feel your presence. God, you are my stay. Those little things just lets it disappear. And it may come back throughout the day, but just keep pushing it away. So that is that's my spiritual habits every morning. And then I also do meditation. I have a lot of the tapes with Oprah and Deepak. If I don't do it in a day, then I do it before I go to bed. And right now I'm listening to the meditation of finding your flow, which is basically getting your body in sync and your mind, dealing with love, power, security, wisdom, and happiness. Just trying to flow in life.
Mm-hmm. So Judge, let me ask you a question. So this is awesome. So it's interesting. We've had different speakers, and different people start different places. But I love that you started with the spirit man. You said, I have a lot of habits, but first I start spiritually, and I read the daily word. You said you're a psalm reader, Psalm 121. I love that you said prayer warrior, yes. But you talked about the Golden Key by Emmett Fox. And I'm saying that because I have people inboxing saying, what was that again? What did she say? So she talked about the Golden Key by Emmett Fox. You guys have just joined Momentum Mondays. We have the Honorable Supreme Court Justice Shawndya Simpson on with us, and we're talking about habits. Then you talked about meditating. Have you always done this? Like I know, like right now, you're at, an incredible place in your career. I mean, just sought after, all across the country when it comes to speaking. I know you're a leader in the community with Jack and Jill. I know you do a lot of things in your off time. But have you always meditated? Have you always been this dedicated to your spiritual path?
I think I started meditating the past two years. I think, I felt that I was meditating through prayer, but I realized that it was just like kind of ritual, a habit that I do daily. But then I started, reading and, listening to some of Oprah's meditation tapes and CDs, and I realized it's also a breathing process to calm your nerves and to get that negative energy out and bring the positive energy in. And sometimes you just freeze up or you get tired or something might hit you during the day, and you just can meditate within. And it's very, very powerful. I mean, sometimes it's so deep for me, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm sitting at my desk in my chambers, and I'm deeply meditating, and I hear myself snoring. That is how relaxed I get. I mean, knocked out. I'm like, what was that? That would be me. But that's what I'm saying. It really knocks you out, because you know what? We go through so much stress and so much in life and so many struggles. And I mean, there are a lot of positives in our life, but sometimes when that negative energy comes, just breathing within and letting the positive in and the negative out, it's such a good feeling and a good relief, and you just feel so awakened when it's over. So, I definitely try to make it a ritual.
Okay, awesome. So we talked about, from a spiritual standpoint, this is one of your habits. You meditate, you pray, and you read. Right. So give me another one of your habits. This is awesome. Another one of my habits is the physical. I work out at least 3 times a week. I do Muay Thai, which is kickboxing. I do some cardio, and I do conditional training. And I love all of it. I like Muay Thai a lot because not only do you learn kickboxing, but it's also self-defense. And it really gets you, I mean, you will sweat it out, like hair sticking to your face and just sweat running behind your neck. But at the same time, you're getting your arms in shape and your abs in shape and your body in shape, and you just feel good. It's such a great and overwhelming workout. I've been doing that for the past 3 years. That's my main workout. And then this weekend I ran a 5K run. Took my little 8-year-old with me, so I didn't run as much as I wanted to. But I have to tell you, I did appreciate having her, because I needed to walk along the way. But it was, they're like, we know you brought your daughter because you wanted to walk a little. I'm like, you got that right. But that's something that I do as well. Not often, but I'm trying to do it more often. So let me ask you this. So, the title of our series is Habits for Success. And you started with the spiritual, where you read and you meditate and you pray. And now you're talking about exercising. How do you think these things contribute to success? And the reason why I'm asking you that is because a lot of our special guests have all talked about this. So listeners on the line, there's something to this. We have some amazing leaders who are at the top of their game in the country, and they're all talking about reading. You're talking about praying and meditating and then exercising. Why is that a key to success?
Well, I think because if when you deal with the spiritual sense, you're dealing with the inner, and then with the workouts, you're dealing with the outer, meaning that, you like what you look like, you like what you feel like. But, again, I'm the mother of 4 children, so I have to have enough energy just to keep up with them. But more importantly, I like how I look. I like the tonus in my arm. I like the fact that I'll be 50 in a couple weeks, and I don't look it, and I take pride in working out, and it makes you feel like you really accomplished something. Like I work out, and like I said, I don't do it daily, but at least 3 times a week, and I like the results. And it just makes me feel good about me. I like when I look in the mirror, I'm liking who I am, and I like what I see.
Talk about that. You said, I like who I am and I like what I see. That has to also attribute to your success, the way you feel about yourself, your confidence.
Yes. And with that confidence, and I think, like you mentioned, it comes a lot, with humility. I think people, they see me and they're like, okay, this is a, Supreme Court justice, and she may be a certain way. But, again, I grew up with very humble beginnings, and I take that with me on the bench. And I always tell people that it's the power to make a difference. I have so many kids that come before me that some of my colleagues just see as a thing, but I see it as a person, without a parent in their life, or the father's here, or the mother's on that, and trying to make their life different. And I've seen so many kids turn around with me just telling them, you know what, I believe in you. You can do this. Let's go back to school. Let's get it right. And, rather than send these kids to jail, I think of different programs that could do them. And I have gone to graduations. I have seen these kids become successful. And, there have been some that have not been. But maybe I can't get through to all. But if I get through to 1, 2, 5, I think that's a big, big accomplishment. And that's what makes me feel good about what I do. So when I judge with love and out of heart and spirit. And I'm, and some of my colleagues are like, oh, you're always putting kids in program. And I'm like, yeah, because that's the difference between you and I. And, of course, a lot of my colleagues don't look like me, and we don't have the same background. So when I come, I bring all of me. And that's what they get when I'm in that courtroom. I fill it with love, and I get on them. I talk to them like I talk to my kids, and they love it. And when you tell them, they come in, and I'm like, oh, my God, you did this program. What, you got a job? What, you got your diploma? And their head lifts up and their shoulder rises, and I just get pride that they get pride in themselves. So that's what I really like that. And it's just humility, too, even with working with people. And, as a judge, I may get it wrong. I may get the law, say something wrong in court about some specific law, and I'll correct myself and, be humble. And I think humility is always important in anything you do. Say, you know what, I messed up. I apologize. Do you have some new case law? Let me look at this. Let me fix this. And, more importantly, just saying thank you. Thank you to people who you work with. And I always say the less you say thank you, the more you won't have to, because people will stop doing for you. And I tell my kids all the time, 2 magic words, say thank you. And learn also to apologize. When you're wrong, just let it go. You're wrong. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Wow. Okay, wait. We got to slow down for a second because you're saying a lot of really good stuff, but I want to make sure that we get this. First of all, humility. Yes. The H word, humility. Now, that is definitely, that's something I felt. I had the honor of sitting next to you at a women's event that we both had a chance to speak at. And just sitting next to you and listening to you and feeling your spirit, humility is the word that just came to mind. I came back talking about you to people, saying she was so humble and her humility was amazing, and all the things and all the accolades that you have, that's not what you carry. Like you said, you carry love. You have a habit of carrying love. You have a habit of putting others first. And I loved how you talked about what you do with the kids. So to me, it sounds like you have a lifestyle and a habit of pouring into others. Where did that start? Did that start like when you were young, growing up, trying to figure it out for yourself?
Well, yeah, I think so. My parents weren't that educated. My mother's not from this country. She's Panamanian and Cuban, so she wasn't used to a lot of things here. So I had to I've always, it's sad to say, and because now I have very privileged children, and I wish they had more fight in them. But I had to fight all my life. I mean, I didn't have a mother that could sit up there and really help me do homework. I didn't have a mother that, or parents that could really advocate for me. I didn't have parents where I could sit down and say, help me with this college application. I mean, I worked all through high school. In college, I was a cleaning woman. I worked at McDonald's, you name a fast food chain, I think I worked there. But you know what? And that's where that's where the humility works. And you do what you got to do. You do what you have to do. But with that, with that fighting, I wouldn't have it any other way. Like people were like, your beginning it was rough. But you know what? That beginning made me, and I like that about me. I like that I came from nothing and made myself something, and that I still keep that nothing with me, and that's a sense of humility, and that's what I want for other people to aspire. And just because you started out a certain way, that doesn't mean that's where you're going to end up.
I love that.
More about not where you came from, where you're going. Where are you going?
That's awesome. Folks, if you're just joining us, you have joined Momentum Mondays. We are on live with the Honorable Supreme Court Justice Shawndya Simpson, and she's given us a little look into her life and some of the habits that have made her successful along the way. So the first thing she feeds her spirit, and she reads her daily word, and she gets into her Psalms, and she believes in the Golden Key, which they've already posted inside the Facebook page. So if you go in there, they posted it. I think they said it's $2.64. You can buy it online today. She talks about getting that negative energy out. I love that because we face so many things in life. Get that negative energy out, pull the positive energy in. She talks about working out 3 times a week. She makes sure her body is strong as well as her spirit. But then she talks about the habit of humility. And Judge Shawndya, I see a book in there called The Power of Humility. You and I talked a little bit about book writing. And I think you could write that book because you wear it best. And it's not something you say, it's something that you live. And so give us one more nugget. We don't have a whole lot of time, but give us one more nugget that's a habit that you believe contributes to the success or balance in your life.
One more habit. I think that mentorship, I have a lot of mentees in my life, and a lot of girls. And what I teach them is I'm going to mentor you, but you also have to pass the baton. If I take care of you, you have to look out for someone else, and then hopefully that someone else will look out for someone else. I mean, I take them in. I'm open to phone calls. I help people get through school and application, or just be the other mother or the friend or the shoulder to cry on. And I think it's just really important to have, positive people, positive spirits in your life. And again, just the power to make a difference in these people's life, just having somebody steady that they know that they could come to. So I really believe strongly in mentorship. And, yeah, I have a whole lot, but if you have one, again, that makes a difference. And you could just see the changes and the effect that you could have in this person's life just by your mere presence. So that is something that I totally feel strongly about.
So I think that, and I love what you're sharing this morning, and your last point was mentorship, which is you mentoring someone with them then paying it forward and mentoring someone else. And I think that when people think about successful people like yourself and they dream about what your day must be like or the things that you must do, I think that they look for all these huge, things. But what I hear you talking about is also character. You're talking about character and the condition of your heart when you talk about mentoring others and giving back and pouring in and having humility. And I think those are some of your success habits. Wouldn't you say that character is also a key element? Because I think that you have a very strong character.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Folks, we are on with the Honorable Supreme Court Justice Shawndya Simpson, and she has walked us through a few of the success habits. Before we go, though, I have my co-host on the line. I'm going to bring you guys in on this amazing discussion. I love having you here, Judge Shawndya. Hopefully one day in the future, I know you're busy, we can get you to come back. But the last thing she talked about was mentorship. And I love that because she's pouring into the lives of so many people across this country, but then she's requiring them to do the same thing. We're talking about success habits. So Michelle Washington out of Newark, Delaware, talk to me a little bit about what you heard this morning. Isn't this amazing?
It is totally amazing. I'm so grateful to have you on the call this morning, and I'm so glad you started off with the spirituality, because we really can't do anything that we do without doing our spiritual routine and our spiritual habits. So I'm so grateful that you spoke on that. My question to you is, in reference to your mentorship, how far do you go out of your your community to mentor? And do you just mentor kids, or do you also mentor adults as well?
I mentor adults as well. It ranges. I mentor some of the defendants that come in my courtroom. I mentor, I have a lot of people visit the courthouse, or I'll go. I used to run an after school. While I was a prosecutor, I ran an after school program. It was called the Jackie Robinson Center for Physical Culture, and that was, I want to say, 20 years ago. And some of those kids are still in my life. In fact, one got married last year, and I was basically the mother in her wedding, helped her buy her dress. I mean, they still exist in my life. So, sometimes you could just feel the need that somebody needs you. And, I'll extend myself, and I see that the changes that they make, just having somebody that's constant in their life, having somebody that they know that they can go to. Because I think we all need that. We need that go-to person that that if you're having that breakdown or mental breakdown, it's just shared between the two of you. And we need that sometimes, just somebody that we can feed off of, somebody that we know that we can depend on. And that's what I try to do. And I think a lot of it has to do with I never felt that I had a lot of that growing up. So I just really believe in the power of one, that one person can really make the difference in your life. And I have no problem sharing myself.
I love that. That's a hashtag moment, folks. The power of one can change a life. The power of one, hashtag the power of one. This is really awesome, Judge Shawndya. Thank you so much. Folks, what I hear her talking about today is I hear her talking about character, spirituality, humility. These are internal things, and these are all keys to having success. Lynette Rogers, oh, my goodness. Is she not amazing?
Wow. I am over here floored and just so honored to, have you on the call sharing these amazing habits you have. And one of the things that I appreciate you sharing, I am a mother of 3, and, your ability to juggle your career and parenting, it just really struck, with me on a personal note. And my question is, how do you maintain balance? And what can you offer to the listeners that, as a peek into your life, how do you juggle and maintain balance and just keep pushing on every day? Because you are an amazing woman, and I'm just so honored that you are on the call this morning.
Well, I'm going to have to tell you, I have a tight shift. So I do have a schedule. And my iPhone, I know some people maybe don't use your calendars, but mine will beep all day as reminders of things that we have to do. So I definitely have like a things to do list, like, today's picture day, I knew from last night. And then I'm the type of person, my kids' clothes are taken out like the Sunday night for the week. There's a rack of clothes. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know what you're going to wear. You know when it's gym day. I mean, I get really organized because I don't want them stressing out in the morning. So they know their little ritual. They get their clothes on. They get their stuff together. Their backs are already packed. We have breakfast, and they walk out peacefully. We're not scrambling, running around looking for this. It's like we get things together the night before. Like I can't even, getting up in the morning and saying what outfit. No, I already know what I'm wearing. Got my dress out. Got my shoes out, and I just slip it on in the morning. So I think that really makes my life easier, that I just plan ahead. And I don't overschedule with them. And then I have a babysitter, a nanny that drives, that helps out too. So if I have to drive one this way or somewhere else, she takes the other one to whatever activity that they have. So sometimes you need help. And I have to say too, thank God I'm blessed with a phenomenal husband that he does just as much. He puts in a lot of hours. He has a very successful career, but his priority also is being daddy, and that's very important to the family, to our marriage, and for my kids.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And Lynette, thank you for asking that question, because I know we have a lot of listeners on the line who are working moms, who want to know how you do it all. And what I heard you say is be organized, plan ahead, don't overschedule, and ask for help when you need it. You talked about that. I heard you say you get a babysitter or somebody. Sometimes we have to ask for help, and I know some of us have the superwoman syndrome, Judge Shawndya, and don't like to ask for help, but sometimes that's necessary.
That's right.
And I love how you talked about the peace in the morning. Man, what a gift you can give your kids is peace in the morning when they leave the house. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so we have Miss Anita Washington on the line.
Good morning. Judge, you've given so many amazing nuggets, and I've just been taking notes and posting them on the line. I appreciated your humility also, but one of the things that is a battle for me and so many other women is the power of physical fitness. Just learning how to balance the success of life, and I always say, how do you love others to life and balance taking care of yourself first? And who is in your inner sister circle? I'd love to know that. What type of characteristics is in your inner sister circle, your friends?
And you know what? It's funny. I am my best friend from like the third grade is like still in my life. So, I have friends from college. I have friends from when I grew up, in the projects. I have friends from work. But you know what? I think in time, I think you could tell from my heart that I give a lot, but I had to take a step back because I was realizing that I was giving a lot, but I wasn't getting a lot. And I'm not saying you do something to get something, but I just realized is that, you know what, wait a minute, I need some mutual friendships. So some relationships I had to test, and some relationship I had to step back from because that's just me. I mean, I guess, I always tell people I'm a little social worker. So it's like, what do you need? You need that? I got you. What do you need? You need that? I got you. And then I'm like, wait a minute. This person has never had me. That's a problem. And sometimes you have to step back and dissect relationships because you give more than you get. And I'm not saying it should be, I'm giving, you getting. It's like sometimes when I need you, you must be there. That's just how I feel because I don't ask for a whole lot. So if I'm asking you because it takes a lot for me to do that, I expect that you're going to be there. So I think what I've done along the years, I respect and admire mutual friendships and relationships. I can't have that 80-20. I've had those, it takes more from me. Again, I work hard. I am a mother, and I'd rather take that and focus on my family than a relationship that's given me much or nothing. So I think that that's something that I had. It was growing pains, and when you get a certain age, you got to wean some people out and make room for new people and new freshness. And I've done that. It's like, you know what, I got to get new here because this is just, it's causing me too much pain and grief, and you don't even live in my house. So you don't live in my house. So I think that you do. And when I say when you dissect, and when you're doing that, debriefing or dissecting, you're dissecting you. Like who, you know, you might get to the point like, I don't have room for you anymore. You cloud in my closet. You know, I got to clean it out. I need some new shoes. I mean, that's really what you have to do. And I say to you, because I know every one of you on this phone, you got that one friend, and you know who it is. You know who that friend is that's feeding off of you as well. And don't let them take that, because they take that power from you. They take so much power, and you need that power for yourself. You need that energy for yourself. And it's not being, you know, selfish. You know, it's just being selfless, meaning that you're just taking them out and pouring more into you.
Well,
wow.
This is excellent.
Thank you so much.
Oof. Zanita, thank you for asking that question. That was powerful. Now, that's a whole nother call, Judge, so now you definitely have to come back. Because that's a whole separate topic, right? That circle, the power of your circle, the power of your inner circle, and you talked about sometimes you got to clean out that closet. You got to. Yeah. That's another book, by the way. Now I'm giving you two. that you have to write. But sometimes you have to clean out that closet. So I'm going to invite you back one day, you know, when your calendar will allow you, but to talk to us about that, because I believe one thing that weighs us down for some of us is relationships. And I believe that sometimes we have guilt and we don't want to let go of certain relationships. We don't want to leave certain people, quote, unquote, behind. But sometimes that's required to go where God is calling you. Am I right, Judge?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask you one last question, then we'll wrap up here. Why do you think people don't let go of those things that are those relationships or people that weigh them down? Why do you think that's a challenge for us, especially as women?
Because some people need to feel needed, I think. I think we feel that we need, and I think it's just the mother in us, you know, it's the nurturing mother. But we don't have to do that for, you know, adults. I mean, some of them, you know, but, you know, we got to take that energy and put it somewhere else. And, I mean, and it's good to feel needed, but you can't let people take advantage of you. And I think that's what happens sometimes. It's just like, you know, you're overextending yourself, and you're saying, you know, what am I getting out of this? I don't even need much. But if I ask you to do one thing and it's like, you know, no, 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 and every time you ask me to do something is yes, 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 that's what I'm saying. You have to do soul searching, because I don't, and I'm not even going to blame it on that person. You got to blame that on yourself.
More.
You know, you have to claim that. You know, because we always say, well, she ain't. No, it's you. You doing it. You letting her. You saying yes. You getting that. It's you. Don't blame her, because you can stop it.
I love
and clean
that.
it out. Clean it out the closet. Take those shoes out. Give it to Salvation Army. Get some other shoes. You'll be all right.
Love it.
Oh, I love you so much. Thank you for just being you. You guys, this is what I was telling you about. I've been talking about you. I've been telling you guys about this amazing woman who keeps it real, who's just humble, who wears humility like a coat, who pours and gives to the nation. And I just think that, you know, we are all just so lucky and so blessed to have you on this morning. So thank you so much. Lynette, I'm going to ask you to open up the lines, and folks, as we jump off this morning, we're going to say we have the golden keys. That is going to be our sign out. Judge, thank you. Judge, thank you so much. You're awesome. We have the golden keys this morning.
Golden keys.
We have the golden keys. We have the golden keys.
You got the golden keys. Woo!
You got the golden keys.
Great Monday, everybody. Amazing.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.